Good morning, guys. Welcome to the broadcast. Today we are headed down to the storage units job. We've got to haul some 3/4. We've got to do some road bond, ABC crush and run to you, some of you. We do have to do a little excavation in that one curve to widen it out for trucks to be able to make it through it. So it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a fun project. Leave your politics at the house and enjoy a little bit of, digging in the dirt and hauling some stone, man. Life is too good to dwell on the negative. So it rained a lot yesterday. We had a huge pour down, and living close to the quarry, that's beneficial to me because I know if it poured at my house, it poured on the quarry. Road bond and ABC crush and run holds water. It turns to almost like a mush, and here we pay for it by weight. So the plan today is to go in and haul the washed stone, place it down in the places it needs to go to. It's going to be super easy, just going to be some tailgating clips because the roads are already smooth. They're just getting wore down from time, and when gravel is tracked on and driven on, it grinds, and it grinds into nothing. So we're just going to do some touch-up work today, and maybe by the end of the day, road bond will have dried out, and we'll be able to get some of that down, do some more of the finer grading to stop some of those puddles from forming. So we're going to pull in the quarry here, collect us a few tons of washed stone, and go do some tailgating. Back here at the 3/4 pile, Doug. Let's do about 9 tons, big buddy. Music to my ears.
Still 78's to Billmore. That's just right.
Yeah, all right, I appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, man.
TTW1 pulling on the scale with 3/4. I've been shooting in 1080 for the videos. Today I'm going to do nothing but 4K. So you guys let me know if you can tell a difference, if the video quality is better. And great news, I ordered my external mic. I'm going to be recording sound to my iPhone. So you guys, you messaged me, you commented, I've heard you, and I care. So for those of you who are hearing impaired or hard of hearing, I guess that'd be the same thing. Hopefully you guys are going to be getting a lot better sound quality and be able to hear me and less background noise while I'm operating in the machines. I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, same thing.
I don't think it's going to hinder me in the machine any more than wearing a regular headset. It is wired, so if I get out of the machine, it's still going to sound like I'm right there with you. I'll have the phone in my pocket, and I think it's going to be a really good improvement to these videos. All right, this is the easy section. You can see what I do here. Hopefully you guys can see. For each section of the project, I took pictures, and just in the editor on my phone, I outlined the area that needs to be worked, and I wrote down, like right here, 8 tons of 3/4, $350, and that way I can break down each section of a project for a customer, and that way if the end total, it shocks them, then you give them the option of saying, well, we can do it one section at a time, and that can be less intimidating. And it makes it to where you can work with the customer to get their projects done. It might take several different visits to the job, but eventually you get the same amount of work done, and it's a lot more comfortable for the customer. Sorry, I'm usually a lot better about using brighter colors for the wording, but right here we've got 5 tons, 3/4 wash, $255. And all I've got to do is tailgate it out. I'm going to set my chains one link out, so it just barely puts any stone out, and I can stretch that 5 tons out the length that I want to go. That stretched out just about perfect the way I wanted it to. I can always touch up with the tractor later on. Now let's go on up to the next section. We are on to section number 2, I guess we'll call it. You can see here, I took notes. I drew lines through this curve behind me. 7 tons of 3/4, $330. What we're going to do is actually tie into that section we just stopped at and come through this curve. And I'm going to keep going because right here we have the next section that the curve ties into. Sorry, I really should have done these numbers different. We're going to end up doing 16 tons of 3/4, $700, starting where the curve ends all the way along the back side of this building. That first section, I just wanted you to see how I break projects up into sections when it comes to grading and gravel. But what I do at the end is I want to make sure the customer gets what I quoted them and what they're paying for. So what I do is I total up all the 3/4 sections, and I want to make sure that those add up to the scale tickets I have, or a little bit more. That way the customer got what they paid for. Same thing with the ABC and the road bond on this project. I may not be able to get it exact, the quantities that I put in each section, but in the end I want to make sure that I give the customer, who may be you watching, what you pay for. For me to come in and do, say, 8 tons back here, it looks good, I'm not going to charge for the 16 tons that I estimated. I'm going to deduct that from the imbalance. Very rarely does that happen. After 10 plus years of doing this, I've gotten really good at being able to just almost look at a project and tell within a couple of tons how much I'm going to need. So let's tailgate this load out and go get another one. Probably going to do a little vine removal for them too. Let's begin widening this sucker out a little bit. I'm going to probably just widen it out about 3 feet, I'd say, the width of that bucket. And that won't be so much material and make that bank so much that we have to do much slope work. Focused in here. We'll just be putting the road bond right back. Put that blade down so I can be a little bit more supported, huh? We're getting right down to dirt really quick, so what I'm going to do is dig down a couple of inches, and that way we've got room to put a couple of inches of road bond back in. Takes about a truckload to do this, don't you think? is. I'll put you guys outside the machine here in a minute. Give just a couple of minutes of inside view. Widening this little curve out just a couple of feet, making their lives a little bit better. Once I get straight out from the corner of the building, well, I would get a rock in there, wouldn't I? I'll widen it on out just a touch more. Outside for a couple. go dump this off and get another load of gravel. Road bond or crusher run. I decided to go with ballast because as I dug into the back here, it's just really soft, and I don't see exactly where the previous grading put the water to, and without having to tear all this up and regrade everything, I think our best bet is to put this ballast in, and that way any water that sheds off this hill or comes away from the building we'll be able to leach through the stone into the ground and slowly soak in. It'll be much like the drain field for a septic system. Same principle, and septic systems work, so why shouldn't this? got a ditch line along this back edge, and it's going to be pretty deep, and we're going to fill it with this next load of ballast. That way trucks are bad to use the ditch. If you just leave it a ditch and it's wet, when they go into it, they're going to sink, it's going to rut it up, and when they squish it out, that little wall on this side is going to hold water and soften the road itself. So by filling it with ballast, it allows water to get into the ditch and soak in, but create a firm surface, so when trucks do make this turn wide when it's wet, it's not going to be as bad to sink. So to adjust the box blade, we're going to turn this adjustment right here. To make it easier, I'm going to stick a rock under the blade, and when I set the blade down on the rock, it's going to take pressure off of this turnbuckle and allow me to tighten it to raise this side up. That way, that side's going to cut in as I push material back and cut that ditch in. Now, let's see if we can get this wedged under here. Oh yeah, that's going good. I'm actually going to stand this rock up and let it. If you put too much pressure down, it makes it harder to adjust. So if I can, if it'll let me get by with this, let's just see. You see how that side dropped? Now, these have grease fittings. Make sure you keep them greased, so it's always easy to work. See, I still got a couple of threads. Actually, no, I think I'm about out of thread. I'm gonna tighten it up as much as I can. Well, that's all she wrote. I can adjust this one, but it's a little more difficult. It's not really a turnbuckle. I've got to take it loose and spin it. That'll work. Now when you're back blading, the more you gather, the more the material you're collecting wants to spread, and we don't want to really spread it out onto this good travel portion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut about 3 feet roughly at a time. So I'm going to put the blade down, I'm going to cut 3 feet, then I'm going to go back up 6 feet and cut that 3 feet back. You'll see what I'm doing, and I'm essentially just grabbing 3 feet of ditch and moving it at a time. pack all this in. It's mostly gravel. There's some just water saturated mud in here, but that will dry out. End of this little segment, fixing this corner and getting it widened out. What I've been doing is come around this corner and following my grade and get my blade down, and I'm just following my grade like this. And if I do for some reason, like right here, start collecting a bunch of material like that, what I'm doing is I pull it toward me, I'm swinging it toward the bank, just like that. That way we keep fall on the grade. And when we come to here, I'm going to match the grade. I'm just going to swing. If I get a little bit of extra material, that's okay. And I'm just going to kind of sling it up onto the bank there. That way it kind of overlaps like a zipper. For some reason, if you just put rock in our area right along here, of course the sun wouldn't come out right now, wouldn't it? It'll just slide down, but if you flip it up and over a little bit, it tends to help. And I think it makes it look better too. We're just sweeping the floor, as it were. Now, let's just get a little bit closer to the building. Maybe a little less glare as well. What I'm going to do is get as perpendicular to the bank as I can. I'm just going to try to make a nice line along that top edge there. You can see it's kind of wavy. That just doesn't look real good. I'm just gonna work my way back and forth, slinging that rock up onto that edge. Making as straight of a line as I can. And this is just something, one of those things that kind of takes a little practice. Hell, I'm still not good at it. But I'm getting better every day. Put the blade down there. Move my tripod out of the way. Then also, what I can do is kind of take this loose material and just kind of knock it down. That'll make the road look a little bit less wide, and it'll make people want to not ride up quite as high on that bank and give the root systems and stuff a little bit more time to take hold. So we'll ease on forward a little bit more. Just to give a couple of shout outs. Elite Earthworks is a great channel. If you're not subscribed to him, he's a really good, just genuine guy doing dirt work. Dirt Boss Masonry, check him out. That guy's super cool. I think he's up toward New York. Elite Earthworks, he's out toward Missouri, I think. So you get to see all kinds of different land and how they work, how they deal with different seasons. Let's see, that's got a little bit of a knoll, so I'm just going to bring some dirt down at that edge. Make it look maybe a little more natural in the long run. And you don't have to pull a bunch of dirt, just loosen it and it'll fall down. That's it. Just let it fall. This stuff is just easy to work with, and it's easy to fix. If it doesn't do what you're wanting it to do, it's easy to learn on. This slope here is where people are really going to tend to want to ride up on it, so I'm tapering it to be almost a, I'd say a 3-to-1 slope. That means for every, well, actually probably a 2-to-1. For every 2 feet up, it'll run into the bank about 1 foot. Nice and gradual. Now let's pull some debris down. Just a touch, doesn't have to be much. This is just a bunch of wood chips that are left over from when we ran the mulcher through here the other day. Good little vine I can pull out. Yeah, we'll get somewhere. And I just work my way through the slope. Just like a bees, like a bees. Perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but I'm happy with it. So, I'm gonna back up, grab the tractor, and we'll smooth out the flat areas. All right, friends, I got it considerably wider. Trucks and trailers should be able to make it through here pretty easily. The way things have been growing here lately. In about a month, you won't even know I was here. The road will just be wider. Tomorrow, I think I'll dress it on up and bring just a real light coat of 3/4 through there. Make it look pretty. That's it for today. Thank you guys for joining me. I actually did tone it down from 4K to the 2.7K. That's kind of that mid-range between 1080 and 4K. The resolution should be a lot better for you guys. Drop it in the comments, let me know. Let me know how I could have made this video better for you. And I actually did take for you guys the little lock. This machine has a check valve in it, so even if I bust one of the hydraulic lines for the quick coupler, it won't just turn loose. If I get on a government job, sorry about the sun, if I get on a government job, I'll have to put that back on, but I've got it on the machine. Again, let me know how I could have made this video better for you guys. Hopefully you liked me doing more video of the outside of the machine mixed with just a little bit of view from inside the machine. We love you guys. If you like the video and you're new to me, I'd love it if you'd subscribe, hit the like button, and again guys, please comment. It helps my channel tremendously as far as getting suggested. If you guys comment, good or bad. We love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.